Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created this short video animation using Filmora and Python. First, I will use Filmora to create the short video clip from which the images will be generated. Then I will use Python to generate and resize the images. I open Filmora and I create a new file. Now I go to titles. In the list on the left, I look for title 3D. Then I find Superstar. Here it is. I drag and drop it on the timeline. I right click on it and I click on duration, and for the duration I type in 3 seconds. I save. Now here in the settings I change the text to reality. I resize the image on the preview window. For the fonts I choose Fugas 1, and for the size I choose 150, and then I center the text. I go back to the list of titles and I click on title glow here. Then I look for title 3, which is here. I drag and drop it on the timeline. I set the start time at 2 seconds 15. There it is. I right click on it and I click on duration and I type in 2 seconds for the duration. I save. I click again on the title, and here I also change the text to reality. I center the text. I resize the text on the preview window, and then I center it. For the fonts I choose also Fugas 1. Here it is. For the size I put 150. I go back to the titles and I choose in title clear, title glow. I select title 26. I drag and drop it on the timeline. I double click on it. Now I delete the layer 1, and for layer 2 I type in my name. Now I change the fonts. Now for the start time I put it at 0.22. Okay. Now I move this side to be at the same level as this one here. Now I can preview. I can do all the settings I want, and once I'm satisfied I'm going to export the video file. I click on export. I name it my test. and I save it on the desktop. It's done exporting. Here it is, my test. Now I'm going to generate the files. I move the file in my test folder. Here it is. Now in the test folder I have all the files I need. I have the DWIN set and so on. Here is my file in the test folder, and here is the script, and here is the Python script I'm going to use. If you look at it, we can see here on this line of code, Python asks me to select the video file using the file explorer. Then after selecting the file, here it asks for the resolution of the pictures. Here enter the width of the image in pixel and the height in pixels. After that, it asks for the destination folder. I will set the destination folder in the file explorer, and then here it asks me to choose the type of picture I want. I can choose PNG, JPG or BMP, and then after that it will generate the files and save them in the folder I have chosen. Here we have the creation of the names. This is the name, and the format of the name is very simple. You just put the number of the file followed by the extension. For example, we can have 93.jpg or 93.png or 93.png. If it is the file number 10, we will have 10.png or 10.jpg. So we're going to run the script. I go back to the folder where I have the script. I click here on the bar here and I type in cmd, then I hit enter. There it is. Now I type in python.exe space frame underscore gen dot py. This is the name. This is the name of the script I'm going to use. Now I hit enter. Okay, here it asks me to choose the video file. The video file is my test folder here. Here it is. I click on it and I click on open. Now it asks me to set the width of the image in pixel. Here the width will be 360 pixel, and for the height is 160 pixels. I hit enter. Now it asks me to choose the destination folder. I'm going to save the images in this folder named pics. I click on it and I click on select. It asks me for the extension. It asks me for the type of image I want. I will type in JPG and I click OK. Now the images are being created. It's done generating the files. Now it says the file images are saved in the folder C users desktop test folder pics. Now I can close the Python. Now if we go back to the folder, here I have all the images that have been generated. 100 images that have been generated with Python. Now when we look at the DWIN set folder from Creality, here are all the folders that are used for the ICL files. And here, this one, 39 start LCD, contains all the pictures that are used for the start screen. Now I will copy that folder. I paste it in my test folder because those are the files I will need. But now, as I'm using the firmware provided by Thomas Toka. If you look at the DWIN set folder he has provided, we see that those files are named differently. Here we have 16 start LCD instead of 39. So I'm just going to rename the folder. Instead of 39 start LCD, it will be 16 start LCD. I rename it. Now I go back to my pictures. I select all the pictures and I copy. I hit copy. Now I go back to the test folder. I open the start LCD and then I paste the files. It will ask me to replace. If they are the same, I say yes. Now all the files have been replaced. I have all my files here. Now I will open the DGUS software. I go down and I choose DWIN ICL generation. I click on select directory. I go back to my test folder and I click on the folder pics. I click on select folder. I click on one on the pictures, then I press Ctrl A to select all the file, and I click on set selected. Now I click on generate ICL file. For the name, I will type in 16 underscore start underscore LCD, and I hit save. Now the file is being generated. The compression is finished. Now I can close the DGUS software. I go back to the folder pics. Here is my start LCD file. I copy it. I go to the DWIN set folder and I paste it. I will replace the one that was already here. Now we copy the DWIN set folder on my SD card. There it is. And now we're going to move to the printer. I insert the SD card in the display. And I turn on the printer. Okay, it's done updating. I turn off the printer and remove the SD card. Okay, now we're going to see the result. And there it is.